Roll call real quick, people. We got Brian Jones, Anthony MK Ultra 90. What's going on, people? No name. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I was just a little bored and said, hey, let me do a off the chain. I haven't done one literally in it's been maybe 6 months. Something like that. Something long, crazy long, too long. I'm back at it though, people. Rude Mud Crab, that's my guy. What's going on, man? Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We're just gonna have I don't even know what I'm talking about really. I mean, I have up there Bitcoin, EOS, cryptos. We could talk about a lot of things, man. I mean, of course I'll bring up EOS, talk about this voice coin. I think it's a game changer. I mean, if you guys want to talk a little Trump, want to talk about, I got a video actually I'm going to show that it's way off topic. It's about artificial intelligence. And this new Google just did some stuff with AI. They've been working on it for a while, but I'm going to show you guys this video that is just going to blow your mind. So maybe we could talk about that as well. Let me put that number up on the screen though, because really doing these live streams, I really like just talking to people. You know, chat is cool, but I want to have conversations with my people, and that's what it's all really about. So definitely, guys, call in to get in queue. The number is 669-900-6833, and the code is there on the screen, 169-861-119. We can talk about whatever. Holla at me. We're gonna get started in about 5 minutes. See, we've got about 33 streamers in right now. Smooth talking Hank, what's going on? I'm bored, man. It's a Saturday night, no basketballs on. I'm just chilling at the crib, man. I'm like, let me get on, see what you guys are talking about. Hey Mick, what's going on? We'll get started here in a minute, people. Yeah, D-Vault, you're right. Voice was not the only thing. There were a couple things. I caught kind of the middle of it. But what I liked most was, you know, the whole talk about EOS IO2 and the whole, you know, security key. That's going to be really critical and important, and really voice almost sets up, man. And this is crazy because when I first got into Bitcoin, there was this talk about being able to vote. Could we have a consensus algorithm or a blockchain to literally be able to identify one-to-one a citizen or a person and only have that person be able to vote? And this is setting up for that type of scenario in the future where literally one vote on the blockchain, all there for you to see, no vote rigging, none of that stuff. That's the first thing that I thought of. John Hill said the presentation was trash. Yeah, you know, I mean, it wasn't the best. We didn't have the great orator Barack Obama up there talking. But hey, I got the point. I got the point of it. I got the meat and potatoes of it. So make sure you guys give me a call and get in queue. The number is there on the screen. I guess we can talk EOS. We can talk crypto markets in general. If you guys got like a coin you want to talk about, we can do that. But first, let's do this. I'm going to show you guys this video. Maybe we can start off with that. But this video I saw like maybe about 4 days ago, and I actually pinned it because I was going to do, I don't know what I was going to do. Maybe a my 2 cents video on it. I don't know. But this blew my mind. Let me fade the music back so we can check this out. But this blew my mind, people. I don't know if this is good or bad, to be honest with you. Just check this out, though. This is crazy. I swear, some of the crypto projects you guys like, I be thinking you look like this running around in the streets. Looking this crazy. That's how you look, or sound at least. That is crazy. Like, seriously, that is crazy, people. I mean, what do you guys think about that? AI literally teaching itself how to run. That is crazy, man. This AI stuff is going to take over and really, you know, I don't know. Like, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Where do we draw the line? You know, where do we draw the line with this AI? Who knows? You guys got to let me know your thoughts about that. But I just wanted to drop that on you and get your feedback on that, man. AI running. God, it's not looking good for us, people. It's not looking good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the market cap tonight. 272 billion right now. Bitcoin's dominance is at 55%. And what did I tell you? Buy the rumor, sell the news. EOS down 7%. Down 7%. I think it was down even lower than that.
Hi, here are some daily statistics for EOS for today, Saturday the 1st of June.
Let me see. What's going on with this? This video is playing music in the background. Another video or something. But yeah, that's
one EOS currently retails for 8.25.
This is crazy, man. Buy the news, sell the news. Buy the rumor. That's what it is, and that's what happened. I told you guys this would probably happen, and but I think, hey, even if it comes back a little bit more, there's still opportunity for you to buy in with this token. You know, EOS is not just a blockchain. You got to kind of think of it as an operating system, and that's what I've been trying to tell people for years. Like, this is bigger than just being a smart contract type of platform. I think it's going to be much bigger than that, and you got to think of it like that. So almost think of buying these tokens as a piece of real estate on the new, like, internet 2.0 or internet 3.0, whatever you want to call it. But it's kind of like that. That's how I envision and think about EOS. So the more people that need to use it, or actually the more people that use it and interact on it, the more of those tokens will be needed, right? I mean, you guys know that, you get that concept, but it's definitely the future, and just seeing how they're moving so fast with EOS in the project. You know, I think this is some good stuff going on with this team. You guys make sure to call in if you are available. We can talk anything and everything. I don't really care. Call that number 669-900-6833. And the code is 169-861-119. Mick, what's going on, man? So while we do that, let me show you guys. Let's see what I have up for the chart right now. So as you can see here, we tried to kind of take a move up, but if I extend this line out, I forget to save this. Let me pull this line out. I'm gonna zoom out and move this line if I can do it right. Move that out there, and then we're gonna move this out like that. So like I told you guys the other day, I did take about 30% off the table, took profits. I'm waiting right now to get in. I got out around 87.70 area. I didn't catch this move up. This was really quick. I was out and about, didn't even see it spike up like that, but ended up getting out like in this candle down here. It would have been great to get out up here, but hey, that's hindsight trading, right? But what I'm looking for is a move. I'm still on the sidelines, but I'm looking for a move down. But if we go higher, then I'm looking to get back in. And I said this in a video the other day. It's got to be above this area, this trend line. So if we move it back above this trend line and we close maybe an hour or two, actually I would say more so like 4 or 5 hours, then I'm looking to get back into this position. So let me see what you guys are saying in here. It looks like my chat box has frozen up somehow. Let me see something, guys. 1 second. I don't know why it's doing that. I can't see your chat. Let me see. Yeah, you guys will have to forgive me. I can't see the chat come through here, so I gotta jump over here to see what you guys are talking about. So John Hill said EOS vision is strong though. Yeah, I agree. EOS vision is strong. They've got the capital behind it. They've got the team behind it. These are the types of things you got to look at, right? You got to look at Peter Thiel being a part of this organization. You got to look at Mike Novogratz being, putting his money where his mouth is. You got to follow the money, people. You have to follow the money. This is what I was saying for over a year now. You got to follow the money. See what individuals are part of the team and invested into this thing. So M. Ace said, what's your view at the moment with Populous? Come on, man. Do we really want to bring Populous up? I'm not trying to see and hear any Populous fanboys in my feed tonight. Come on, man. You already know how I feel about Populous right now. It's a bad situation for the token holders. Maybe they can prosper with this new platform or new vision they have. But to me, it's just like, why are you pivoting and you don't even have any type of volume right now? You're making changes and there's you don't have the volume to really assess if that change is even needed, right? So that's kind of my take on that, man. I'm trying to see why my chat thing is not working. I'm hitting refresh and it's still not coming up. So because it's kind of hard for me to toggle back and forth to see what you guys are talking about. 1 second. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna remove and then add again. Let's see if this works. I gotta go through all of that. Oh well, I'm just gonna skip the chat part. But let's see what else everyone is talking about. Danny Tremblay says Bix must be about to call to trade BH1. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Seasider says I was hoping the EOS event would bomb so price drops. Looks like it wasn't a great EOS event as the price is dropping. No, Seasider, what that is, you got to understand. We're dealing with buy the rumor, sell the news. It's a classic move, you know, and I told you guys that was gonna happen, right? So up to the event, I sold off, and I'm gonna buy back in probably in a day or two. Devault says the level of marketing that will be done for voice will be beyond anything crypto has had before. Voice will be how many normies make it into crypto over the next few years. Correct. That's very true. And to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna bring up Voice. I think I have Voice's website in here, and we'll get back to the TA in a second, but I'm just gonna bring up their website so you guys can check it out. Yeah, man, like, and this is perfect timing because you've got this global coin, which is the most corny name you could come up with, but global coin with Facebook, them coming out, you'll be able to see, the masses will be able to pick and choose and see the difference between something that's decentralized and then something that's run by an actual corporation and it's more centralized, and they'll be able to pick and choose and see what the benefits are on the voice side. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is great, man. And they've got billions of dollars to really do this thing. So in a very good position to get this thing going. Let's see what else everyone else is saying in here. Let's see, Seasider. Let's see here. I'm just going through the chat here, people. Give me a second. Devault says people selling are crazy. EOS just found out it's going to be 12x faster and have multi-threading. That's the key, and that was one of the things, man, that Devault that I thought was great to hear about the EOS 2.0, EOS IO 2.0 is the multi-threading. They've been talking about that for a while. We knew that it was capable of doing that. So this is huge. Yeah, the multi-threading, it's already the fastest thing out there. So now they're going to be 12 times faster than what we currently are. It's just nothing on the market currently that is even close to competing with EOS IO. It's just not. And so if you were a technical person, you surely recognize that. You surely recognize that. If we take a look at, and I have this queued up as well from one of my last streams. Let me see here, guys. So this here, I always like to show this, or at least drop the link in some of my videos. But you take a look at Blocktivity, you will see EOS is by far, activity wise, by far, number of operations on the blockchain during the last 24 hours, whether this is spam or not. that's what I hear some people saying, like, oh, a lot of that is spam, a lot of that is, let's just say it is all let's say it's 100% spam, which is not, but let's just say it's 100% spam. We're talking about 19 million operations in the last 24 hours. The closest thing to that is Tron, which is using basically the same consensus algorithm. Tron is at 1.1 million. Okay, not even close. A tenth of what? Actually, a 20x less. And then, you know, it kind of goes down from there. But Ethereum is not even at 1 million. And it's, I mean, a lot of people use Ethereum for tokens and, you know, transferring stuff, not for dApps. We know that. But yeah, look at the disparity there. Bitcoin is at 800,000. Not even close, people. This is no competition. And we've got Bitcoin. If you look over at the meter on the right hand side, the far right column, you will see capacity. Bitcoin is at capacity, 100% capacity. They've got over 7,700 unconfirmed transactions. Ethereum is at 73% capacity. EOS at 14% capacity, and that's without EOS.IO.2.0. So there, come on, man. A blind man can see this, people. A blind man can see this. So let me get back. Let me get back to this chat room. I hate that I can't see the chats from my screen, guys. So you gotta just kind of bear with me here. Rad Vladdy, man, he dropped some jewels in my on my comments under my videos. He's a very knowledgeable guy. I gotta give a shout out to Rad on his contributions to my channel, man. I really appreciate it. Let's see what else we've got here. God, you guys are typing so fast. I'm trying to catch everyone. I want to catch all of what people are saying here. Let me see. Do I have anyone? Oh, I got a caller. All right, let's get to this caller, people. Caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Talk to me.
Crypto Blood, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. I'm sorry. I don't know how long you've been waiting. I'm very sorry. I was supposed to get an alert when someone comes in, but I don't know. So what's going on, man? How are you today?
Who cares, man? I've been listening. I mean, cool. I was going to listen anyway. So,
right, sure,
Todd. I was the Hester person interview.
Yeah, man. That was good, man. Thanks for that content.
Yeah. Thanks for posting. I appreciate it, and that was some good information for everybody to kind of consume. I was listening to the kind of breakdown of EOS and Tron and all that stuff from a transactional standpoint.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously EOS is no joke, right? Okay. I'll admit that. I got bixed. All right.
Yeah. A lot of people did. That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
I got bixed. I still have some, so it's not like oh, got another person at the door there.
Yeah, I got it.
But I wanted to
go ahead. Yep.
I wanted to give you a heads up that, I mean, you can't really look at all transactions the same. For example, like Steam, you get an upvote, that's a transaction. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're comparing an upvote to a peer-to-peer transaction, that's apples and baseball. That's like football
I disagree because it's still a transaction over the blockchain. So if I do an upvote, that still has to go out over the network, right? It has to be confirmed. It has to be confirmed by, you know what I'm saying? It's still an action over the blockchain. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree. I'm not totally discounting it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you can't go apples to apples with it, right? I mean, there's not the same amount of security in a Steam it upvote as there would be a $1 million transaction of Bitcoin from the U.S. to Argentina. Right?
Yeah, it would. No, so, I think so. No, it definitely would because
okay,
you don't want.
So you think that a proof of work algorithm on a SHA-256 is going to be the same kind of security as a delegated proof of stake that takes place on a proof of stake type system?
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be in order to work properly. Like they couldn't do voice, this new social network. They couldn't do it, or any dApp. It has to be secure and immutable. The transactions after a certain number of blocks, it has to be, right. So in concept, yeah, it's the same. Now you can argue. One could argue, what is better for currency, and what's better for what consensus algorithm would be better for a currency. versus one that a consensus algorithm that would be better for, let's say, a decentralized application. So,
smart contracts.
Yeah, smart contracts and stuff. There are pros and cons to using different algorithms. All aren't created equal.
Each one has its own purpose, and each one has its certain protocols for security compared to protocols for speed.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I like delegated proof of stake a lot better than proof of stake. It's like having a republic over a democracy, in my opinion.
Yes, and that's what I was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't quite think, and I do agree that delegated proof of stake is great. I mean, that's why I like Tezos. I still like Tezos. And I like that kind of product better than proof of stake, but I don't think for a currency kind of standard of transacting huge dollar value that it holds the same security standard as Bitcoin. And I think that would be the challenge that I would propose to anybody that thinks that proof of stake is a solution to the energy concerns of proof of work, because I think proof of work has a little bit more security. Proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, you can have the delegates vote on reversing a transaction, right?
Yeah.
You don't do that on proof of work because of the fact that proof of work is so strong, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, but then it's that, and as I was talking to my guy Kevin Rose from EOS New York, it's not, and what we're learning and what we should be learning is it's not a binary thing. It's a scale, right? It's a gradient scale. So if I'm looking for what you're saying, like with Bitcoin, which I wouldn't say to change Bitcoin's consensus algorithm. It is what I think is great for what it does, but what you give up is efficiency. So now we have to look at Bitcoin as a commodity because we can't use it as money. So it's like you got to give and take, and that's life, I guess, right?
Yeah, my conspiracy theory is that they're going to use a combination of atomic swaps with Lightning, with Litecoin and the Lightning Network to kind of have Bitcoin and Litecoin work in tandem to kind of make that happen. Once again, they're also giving up security, but there would be accountability to those Lightning nodes. So that would be the audit process that they would be giving up, but still there's accountability there. So it's almost like they become delegated proof of stake at that point.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, and maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should leave Bitcoin as it is. I don't know. That's a debate to have. Adding all these layers for increasing speed. I don't know, man. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer.
Well, Crypto Blood, my theory on Lightning Network. It has too many. Points of failure. I don't like it.
I'm with you. We can agree on that. I'm scared of Lightning Network, bro. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I like Bitcoin Cash's solution of the larger blockchains. It seems like they're fast. The 51% attack thing, it wasn't really a 51% attack. It was something else, and I think it's being sold because so many people hate Roger Ver. And I met the guy, and he's not a real people person. He's a straight down to business guy, and those kind of people rub people the wrong way.
And that's the unique position. I've got two more callers. We're going to wrap this up, but that's a unique position about Bitcoin. Like, we don't know who made it, right? So I can't judge as people do with Bitcoin Cash, with Bitcoin SV, with EOS, thinking it's a pedo coin and all this stuff. You tend to associate it with a person, and really you're not looking at the actual vision and utility of what it's supposed to do, right? I can't associate anybody with Bitcoin. Bitcoin could have been a pedo person or a weirdo like Roger Ver or whatever the case be, but because we don't know who he is, we just kind of, you know what I mean? That's the one thing that Bitcoin will forever have over all other cryptos. Thanks for the call, Todd.
Yeah, I get it. Thanks, all right, bud. Man.
It's your boy Crypto Blood. What's going on?
Hey, Crypto Blood.
Hey, how are you there? Who's
hey, it's Mark. Hey, how you doing? It's Mark. Had a question in your opinion on Digibyte. When you look at the history of the price, at one time it was 12 cents.
Mm-hmm.
How a coin like that go up and down, and it's been stuck at like a penny and a half? Is it partially hype, or it's in the news, and then the other portion is they're really trying to work through their platform, and then when they want to go with a little bit more advertising? Or in other words, what's your view on the price, and how does it go from 12 down to just 1 and sit there? I've held on to it just because I have a lot of good feelings on it, but just curious.
Good question. So let's look at, let me see if I can pull this up with Digibyte. I'm not, I don't hold any. But it sometimes it's kind of hard to equate price with what the project and what the community is doing. This crypto market is so small that you can have a lot of manipulation, a lot of pumping and dumping, and many times you can't look at.
I mean, I was going to say, is there a lot of truth to it's faster than Bitcoin, and if that's the case, why wouldn't it be up there with the crypto or coin market cap? It's stuck in the 50s up to 37, kind of in there. And then you see these coins that are priced, but then I can understand the manipulation. So I wonder if it's faster than Bitcoin. Do they just not market it well, or am I incorrect? Would you say
it's possible? Yeah, it's possible, right? But what am I using the Digibyte coin for? Right?
Yeah,
where's the utility?
It was going to be.
So
it was going to be
go ahead.
A kind of a transaction thing. It sounds like they're trying to be a point of use or something of that nature.
Right. So what has to happen though is the team behind Digibyte, they've got to secure more point of sale business. But again, here's my thing about all of these competing altcoins that say, and really their only claim to fame is that they're faster than Bitcoin. Like, that's not going to be enough. That is not enough of a competitive advantage for you to think that you're going to take second place or first place over Bitcoin, or create some type of demand for your coin because you're faster than Bitcoin. It has to be more than that. You know what I mean? It's got to be more than just your transaction speed. Because
it makes sense. And I just kind of, sometimes when you're early on in this, you see Litecoin get dumped at 300, and then you wonder what Charlie Lee was trying to do in that. I'm glad I never really owned a lot of that, but
so I mean, even with like Litecoin, great community, right? So they have a great community. So, it may be something like Dogecoin where the community keeps the value going and the community spreads the brand of Litecoin that will perpetuate that coin higher. But over time, that's gonna wear out. It's got to be literally something concrete where when you take it to the marketplace, it's better than any other competing cryptocurrencies. I'm of the thinking and of the camp that I see stable coins being used by the masses on a day-to-day basis at stores and stuff. If people are using stable coins, I can, at least with a stable coin, it's a quick transfer from one of your coins that you hodl to, something you want to spend at a store. Then there really is no competitive advantage over the stable coins versus like a Litecoin or a Digibyte or anything like that. So if we end up going that route, then those camps are going to have to come with something better than that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I totally have. If you ask 1 out of 5 people, hey, do you even know what cryptocurrency is? They have no idea. And then the implementation of it it's the masses have to, remember when the ATM came out in the 80s, people are like, are you kidding me? I need to be customer serviced at the front window. And then now it's, where's my latte? And so it's got to be a kind of a implementation of a common occurrence to get a coffee and such. So it's so new. I like the decentralization of it though, because of the printing of money is out of control.
The one thing I do like about Byte is their whole identity thing. See, that's cool. That's cool, but I think EOS has that covered. You know, EOS blockchain has biometric security protocol. They had that protocol in there, and I'm assuming that that's what Voice is going to use for their kind of KYC. I don't know. I need to find out more, but I'm assuming they may do some biometric type of signature link with your wallet and Voice. So then that gives you a unique identity key per account. So that's what. And
would you say in your opinion with EOS, I'm trying to figure out how to get it from like a simple EOS wallet to my Nano S. Did you have a video on that, or what? I'll let you go after this. Is that?
No, I don't have a video. No, I don't typically do too many tutorial videos because there's so many out there. Just do a search on YouTube and you should be able to find your answer. So you're trying to move it to your Nano S?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit more involved, and I just need to do some more research. It's like I think there's some other internal things that have to be done. I mean, I loaded the EOS on the Nano, and then when I'm trying to just figure out how to push the keys or the tokens rather from there to the wallet, gotcha. The Nano itself.
Gotcha. Yeah, just check out YouTube, man. They'll be able to have so many tutorial videos. That's why I kind of leave it for those that focus on that. I try to leave that to them. I just try to cover, just kind of broad, more macro things within crypto.
Absolutely. Hey, I love what you're doing, man. Great show.
Hey, man. Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, have a good day. Thank you.
You too. It's your boy Crypto Blood. What's going on?
What you're doing, man? Great show.
Hey, Crypto Blood. How you doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you? Who's calling in? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good. Naples Vice. I'm calling in from the beautiful, sunny Naples, Florida. You aren't getting any feedback, are you?
I am getting a little. Yep. Turn this down a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll turn it down. Okay. So
I'm jealous. I'm jealous at the weather down there in Naples.
Yeah. I don't know how everything's been going up there in the Midwest for you. I'm kind of a transplant.
What you calling in for tonight, man?
Okay, so I'm a technical analyst, and I don't know how many traders that you might have on your show, but I fully track the price of Bitcoin heavily, and I've been looking at some price patterns, and based on the current price move we've had, obviously off 3,500, which is pretty tremendous. And I'm looking at some patterns here. They call this an ascending wedge. And this is where you're seeing the price action to the upside is a little bit less aggressive, whereas the sell-offs start to become more aggressive. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at some possible price levels around 5,400 that might look like a good buying point.
Okay.
And I just wanted to discuss some good pullback levels that we're going to be buying here despite all the news. And gotcha. I think 5,400 looks like a great level.
I just want to.
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at this. Look at this price, man. I don't know if you're looking at your TV, but we went dead 2009, end of 2018 into 19. Let's just flatline. That is horrible. And we're finally starting to get
it's staggering.
Yes, we're finally starting to get a little price action going on here, but 5,400. I say no. I say 6,000 is the lowest we would go with a possible capitulation.
6,000?
Yeah, because you got to remember, I don't know if you remember last year, we held 6,000 for 2 months. Maybe longer.
Yeah, we had that really long consolidation area before they started really hitting it hard.
It was like let me see. I'm going back here. July. Oh yeah, man. We're talking about almost 6 months of consolidation right above 6K. So for me, I'm a support and resistance trader. I literally
Okay.
only use support and resistance and Fibonacci's here and there. For me,
Okay.
that shows me that 6K should be the new floor, just like 3,000 was the old floor. So,
And I see 6,000 where, like, if we do hold the 6,000 level, which is heavily above support, because I'm being involved in this business as long as I have, I know that the market usually kills about 90% of traders, as maybe your callers may have told you in the past. So I think the 5,400 level, even 6,000, if we come down to the 6,000 level and we don't get to 5,400, which might be the more obvious level of support.
right.
If we do hit 6,000, like you're saying, that really could be a level where if they come in and they start hitting the market with a lot of buying, maybe that's one of the catalysts that would take us up into higher levels. But I think, like, as you're saying, 6,000, that's a round number. I don't have the order book in front of me. I'm sure there's probably like an insane amount of orders sitting right there.
Right. Yeah,
And if we-
6K
yeah,
is
if
a
we were to-
psychological whole number. And you know, that was a level that the market really reacted to last
And
year. But what's 60,
I'm a bear.
6,000 and 5,400?
Yeah.
Is there really a that's if we zoom out, that's like the same area, right? Not much of a
Well,
difference.
technical analysis, and this is something that a lot of people in the crypto space like put a lot of heat on, because they're like, oh my gosh, crypto, you have your crystal ball, etc. Like, technical analysis is not an exact science. And that's something I kind of want to clarify. It's like, okay, if I have this level right here at 5,400, that could be give or take $200. And if you have a technical level sitting at about 6,000, that could be give or take $200, because it's never precise.
Especially in crypto, because the exchanges are so there's so many different exchanges, right? It's not like in FX where you've got some IBs, you got interbank, and it pipes through like maybe 4 or 5 feeds, right?
Yeah.
Here it's all mixed around, so it could be, like you said, give or take a few hundred points easily.
Yeah, and like cryptocurrency trading, like, it's not as liquid as something like
Right.
crude oil or soybeans,
Exactly.
S&P 500 futures or something. So it's not as liquid.
Right.
And it's something I should probably get out in the air, and I'm sure everybody in the comment section is going to diss me on this, but I'm still a crypto bear. I
Okay.
think that this rally is a huge suckers rally, and I think they're trying to suck everybody in right now. I see a lot of very bullish sentiment, especially coming out of the mainstream media, which, being an options trader, being a futures trader, that's usually a sign to me that says, okay, they're trying to get everybody into the S&P 500 right now. And typically, where does everybody buy? They buy at the top, and where do all the suckers sell is right at the bottom. So if they're trying to get everybody long from here, all right, and everybody starts buying, even if we start breaking above, $9,000, and we have 1 week where they call it the shooting star kind of candle, and that's where they start sucking everybody in, and there's a ton of volume. I think that ends up being the catalyst that could bring us back down to the $3,500 area.
Yeah. I took money off the table when we had that bearish engulf candle occur on the 1 hour. I talked about a few days ago. That was a big bearish sign for me. I mean, if you take a look at this candle, man, this thing just engulfs like how many days worth of trading? Like, let me see here, the 26, like 6 days, 5 or 6 days worth of trading, this one candle, and it just completely obliterates this bull candle here. So that was a big bearish sign for me. But like you said, it's so illiquid, man. Who knows what's going to happen? It's very unpredictable, this crypto market. So TA is very hard to do. Was easier back in 2017 when there was a much more liquidity.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows, man? But as you can see on the screen, I've got that circle. That's the area. If we break above that trend line, then we're back on, and maybe we'll go 10K. But I'm not too sure. I'm bearish under this trend line. So
Okay.
And I think we'll see a test of possibly the second scenario here at 7,700.
I'll throw one more idea out there for you, and we'll give the next caller their 5 minutes. So if we look back all the way back to 2015, which was the area of reference, I guess we're giving this to at least try to get an idea from a historical point of view as to where this market's going to bottom. And I have my own opinions. My opinions don't matter. The price tells us everything. It doesn't matter what we think.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2015, we had a very big rally. And I don't remember exactly the precursor, but I was seeing the price because I wasn't involved in crypto at that time. But we had a very big rally, right, kind of what you would call towards the end of that rally. And they did about a 50% retracement. And once again, I don't have all the figures in front of me. I think it was like 2000. They pulled it back to 1,000, something like that. It's 50% retracement. So I'm looking at possibly a very big retracement right now because I still think a lot of these people need to get hammered before we really start getting moving again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's possible. I'm with you. I think we're not going to see 2017 again. But at the end of the day, who knows? I see a lot of people in the chat rooms right now talking about, because there are a lot of institutional funds waiting to get in.
Yeah.
That it may just kind of shake off the bear correction.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and I don't know if I necessarily believe it entirely. Like that's like the big argument. Like everybody thinks like, oh, Wall Street's getting ready to get in, and I guess I would have to have more regulatory clarity. I mean, I heard that you had Todd on who said that he is more involved in that kind of space. Maybe I'll have to find a way to contact him, but I would have to see like more from a regulatory standpoint because I don't necessarily understand all the regulations for institutions, but maybe like some information based on what the more, what would they call hedge funds and mutual funds, etc., traditional institutional investors, like what kind of criteria they would have to meet in order to get involved with this space. Like that's something I think I'm going to spend more time researching, because if we start to see that from a standpoint from Wall Street, or even the hedge funds who are less regulated than your traditional mutual fund, like what kind of standards they have to meet in order to buy something like cryptocurrency. And that's why like I'm still skeptical about all the institutional involvement in this space.
Yeah. What do you think about Fidelity and them possibly ramping up here, I think in the next month or so, right?
Well, the key word is possibly.
Right.
Like once again,
Right.
I'd have to see it more from an institutional space, because I think a lot of crypto investors still to this day have. All right, and I have cryptocurrencies for the long term, so I want to clarify that so that that's out there. I have a portfolio that I manage and that I've been watching since about middle 2016.
Okay.
But I'm still very skeptical about institutional involvement in this space, just for regulatory reasons.
Yes. Regulatory, I'm still skeptical as well. You see Bakkt is still not live. They throw out these teasers every couple of months to kind of keep that carrot dangling in front of people's faces. But
Exactly.
But if I'm looking at what the SEC is saying, I'm just not too sure. I know Bitwise, I believe, is the company. They did a report showing that Bitcoin wasn't manipulated, even though like 60 or I don't know what the percentage is, but a high percentage of the volume is wash trading. But they're saying that it's
all
not
fake.
Yeah, but they're saying that the actual price is not manipulated. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't believe in all that manipulation stuff. You just hear that from crypto traders that get wrecked, and they want to blame it on somebody else instead of taking responsibility for having a bad trade.
Well, I think I think it is manipulated in the sense as it's such an illiquid market. You have big whales that move money around, so that's kind of manipulating it, right?
Well, that I would call that more market forces. Like it's the same situation with gold and silver. Like, okay, let's say that I'm long 2,000 futures contracts in gold, and I want to dump my position.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you're going to
cause I'm going to play with.
Right, you're going to cause some havoc.
When I might dump, that might take 5 points off of gold when I'm trying to get out of that position. But say I have 50 points in profit, which in the futures market is a staggering amount of profit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think all this is manipulated. I just think it's market forces, and it's a lot of cryptocurrency traders got rich off cryptocurrencies, and they don't know how to exit a position the right way.
Yes.
So if you're dumping 1,000 Bitcoin on an exchange, that could be, they could knock off 300-400 points by selling 1,000 Bitcoin.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't buy that narrative just because I believe in efficient market theory.
Yep.
So.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree. It's definitely, and I used to say that back in 2018 when everyone was crying manipulation on the way down, right? But I'm like, what the hell? You weren't saying that on the way up, if it's, manipulation
of course.
is right. It goes both ways. So, I think it's maybe I'm using the wrong word, but it's influenced by big players in an illiquid market. So you're going to have a lot of price swings, a lot of random pops and drops. And so as more liquidity comes into the market, that will smooth out. You'll get a smoother, healthier price.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we start seeing a one tick wide market in cryptocurrencies, we're not going to see 500-point swings.
No, not at all. Well, all right, man. I appreciate the call. I'm going to get to the next caller. Definitely call in again.
Yeah,
man.
Crypto Blood.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's your boy Crypto Blood who's calling in.
Yo, man, it's John.
John 1.99. John.
Yes, that's him.
What's going on, man? So you like that presentation today, huh? Some great speakers from Block One Camp,
trash,
right?
Man. You need to get somebody else on there.
Oh,
like,
man.
I think I tweeted you. I was like, ain't no it ain't like Justin's son, but it was terrible, man. I was like, oh, this is crap, man. But I mean, the product itself it seems straight. So I'll check it out. I'll sign up, whatever. But I wanted the add on. Well, I want to go off on that last caller, kind of not go off on, but I kind of see it differently.
On
like
what
he
topic?
was saying,
which one? What topic?
He like with the price of Bitcoin, whatever. He was saying he sees it correcting and stuff like that. I mean, technically, I see what he sees. He sees the rising wedge, whatever. I got that plotted, whatever. I don't think this price is going down. So, honestly, to Tether die, I think this joint's just going to keep running. And
you think Tether's really going to die, bro? Like, seriously?
Man, I don't know when. It might take, a long time, but I don't see this price dumping like that. There's just too much at stake. It seems like, because as soon as that, as soon as the New York AG came out with that information talking about they're trying to take Tether down, I mean, that price has been skyrocketing ever since. And to me, that's just the correlation. Like,
price skyrocketed. No, remember, price went crazy the week that Binance went down.
What week was that? I don't remember that.
And I think I either tweeted about it or talked about it in a video. But what's the coincidence of Bitcoin or Binance going down for a week to kind of fix their whole...
Oh, you're talking about the withdrawals.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the first move from when it was in the Center Triangle from December. Well, from the September lows to, I think it was early March, when at first it broke 4,200.
Oh, you're talking about April 1st.
I'm talking about
April
that,
1st, the April Fool's Day.
I think it was
the
April
day
1st.
after.
Yeah, and I've been like beforehand, I didn't really watch the transactions. Like, you know, they have like the whale bot transactions, like the alerts and stuff like that, like on Twitter and things like that. But that night, I mean, I think I signed up a little bit before then. And that night, there was like, you can kind of time the pump. Like, the bot will go crazy. Like, it will just have all these transactions where, like, you know, like 600 Bitcoin from, you know, this exchange to a known wallet. And like,
if you recall that particular pump, I did a video about that. They did a coordinated buy attack from 3 different exchanges for I think 100 million. Someone did. Yeah. That made that move up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it pumped to 5,000.
Yes.
Off of that. Yes. And ever since then, I've just been, I literally, like, you know, I do the you know, I trade and stuff like that. But as far as like technical analysis, stuff like that, I mean, to me, it's like I look at it, you're plotting a manipulation, honestly. Because that bot starts going crazy, I don't care what it says on the chart. This joint's going to pump, man. Like, it's almost guaranteed. It's pretty much guaranteed like it's going to pump. Unless, you know, there's some variations, like if it's one exchange, but if there's a few exchanges and like there's multiple, like, you know, large order buys, it's going to pump, you know, at least a couple $100. Mm-hmm. So to me, this whole joint is manipulated. I think it probably, I'm looking at like around like 17K. It probably gets to, and then maybe it takes a dump there.
No pullback from these levels, or do we get a slight pullback then to 17?
I mean, we should have a pullback now. If you just go off the, like, if you go off the technicals right now, you go on the day chart. There's highly, like, there's divergence on every, like, indicator.
Oh, like, yeah. That
MTV.
Even on the 1 hour, bro. Like that. This candle right here is. I immediately exited the market. Like, I knew this is horrible right here. This is a bearish engulf candle, man. I saw that. I told my people.
It should have dumped it. It should have dumped from there. Like,
yeah, it should have gone to 6K there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at a short, and as soon as it dumped, them buy orders came back. Yep. Like, I'm telling you, like, this joint is completely manipulated. I think, like I said, until Tether go down, I can't. 199 ain't coming, man. 199,000 might come. Like, I don't.
But see, here's the thing, John. Okay. Tether is not going away in the sense of like one day it's just going to be like, oh, Tether's gone, crisis, whatever. Maybe the volume on Tether, people use Tether less and less, and it just kind of fizzles down. I don't see it just going away, bro. I don't see it just going out the back door.
That's the only. I'm telling you, I think that's when it's going to finally dump. Like, because none of this stuff, like, this technically, like, it should have been corrected. Like, everybody's waiting for correction. You know, I mean, everything could be irrational, but to keep the price at these levels, you gotta have, you know, like, you gotta have millions of dollars to keep this price at this level. Like, who's buying at this level? I mean, you could trade it for,
think
you know,
about
a little
it's
trade
such
there.
a small market, and even though the market cap is saying that we're at 270 billion, we know that's not dollar for dollar.
That.
So really, the true market probably is a tenth of. I don't know, like, a tenth of that. It's probably like $27 billion of real capital, like real money in the market.
That's true. But still, like, even that candle you're talking about, that dump, like, there was a sell order of like 300 million there.
Yeah,
that's what was the sell, and that's why I was like, yo, like that. I thought we were going to 6K in like 10 minutes.
I did.
You know how this joint moves.
No, yeah, I did. So I knew we were at least touching my second trend line of 7,500. I just knew we were going there, but we're slowly creeping back up. It's like a wash trade. It may be a complete wash. Like, they dump 300 million, they're gonna buy in 300 million and take us right back to where we are.
Yeah, but that's what I feel like. They just, like, whoever is controlling this. To me, this is my personal opinion. You know, it's just looking at the whole bot stuff and just looking at, like, technically we should be going down. Like, it should be going down now. And this Jones will just not die. And they said did the same thing around like 5,000. Around like 5,000, like to 5,800. Everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna pull back." That Jones just kept riding. And those buy orders just kept coming in. Like, you know, it'd be like 50, if you can I'm telling you, you can look at it like, if there's more than like 5, that Jones is pumping. Mm-hmm. That Jones is gonna pump. You know, that night, because I was up that night when it finally broke 4,200. I wasn't in no position, and I'm kind of mad because I bought the bottom and everything. And but I sold because, you know, technically on the chart it was theirs.
Yeah.
And they just kept pumping that joint. Like, they pumped that joint.
I know.
And there was so many orders of that. It just kept alerting on my phone. I thought it was broken or something. That joint was, that joint was like 1,000 Bitcoin buy. Like, it just kept coming. I was like, and then it
so
exploded.
I was like,
John,
this is what who do you think this person or these group of individuals, who do you think they are?
I mean, to me personally, I think it's whoever's behind Tether. I think they're using the Tether to pump the price, man.
Even like, with the AG on them, on their neck now. I don't think they need to.
I think they're trying to cash out.
They just did an IEO for $1 billion.
I don't believe none of that.
Come on, man.
I don't.
What do you mean?
Look at it like this. All right, say you yourself, you like the feds are coming at you, right? You need to raise money. Like, who's gonna give you money? Like, because odds are when the feds are coming at you, like, it's a wrap. Like, you done.
No, like, evidently not. Me, like, the judge in the case was like, "What are you guys going at Tether for? Like, where's your evidence? It's all vague. Is what are you actually trying to get them on? They lost money from another scam company, and you're trying to go after Tether." That's what the judge said.
I mean, we're going to see how this plays out. I don't think it's going to play out great, but in the meantime, man, you can short it for a couple minutes or whatever for, a couple hours, but odds are that bot buy is going to come up. They're going to alert, and you just going to, either going to break it even or get liquidated, because they're not.
I just want to know, like, what would convince you of anything that Tether is doing that's legit? Because they did, man. They raised the billy, man. They raised the billy. They were trying to do that prior to the AG coming out, but they raised they raised 900. No, they raised $1 billion. They sold out private.
Yeah, they said they raised $1 billion, but this whole situation shady. Like, because going back to, in what was that, October, November, and having the issues with withdrawing the funds for the customers and stuff like that. Like, they were saying, in the background, they're like, "Oh, everything's cool, you're gonna get your money." But in the background, y'all lost $800 million. Like, the bank you gave the money to, they took y'all money and ran, or it got seized, or I don't know where. Nobody knows where that money is at. So it's a shady. It's an extremely shady situation. I think this whole move is shady.
The thing with them is that, and this is what they were coming after the AG about, is like, you're creating more panic than trying to help us behind the scenes recover our 800 or 700 million.
I see it, but my thing is, if they were legit, they would have came out like, "Yo, bam, we got this bank. We've been banking with this bank. They're supposed to hold our funds."
I think I lost my man John Hill. He got a little too excited and hung up the phone. Hopefully he'll call back in. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The whole Tether thing, I was actually shocked that they had, what was the amount that they were backed? I think it was like 75%. They had 75% of the funds backing the Tether. I think that's impressive. We look at the banks, they're backed like 3% or something like that, maybe even less than that, with how they create their base money, or the base money, and then they create by loaning. So with the fractional reserve system, and then the Federal Reserve. So of any organization we know today, from a financial standpoint, to have 75% of your capital backing the asset that you're talking about or selling, that's pretty impressive to me. But you guys gotta let me know. So someone asked me what were the coins that I recommended. Yeah, little troll box, you're right. I've been telling people to buy Binance coin, EOS, BAT for the longest, people. Let's see who we got on the line here. Let's see. Caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in?
Hi, it's Shebediah Dean. How are you doing, Crypto Blood?
Good, man. What's going on?
Oh, hey, I just was wondering, for a long time I've been following JavaScript, and from the time, like in 1999, when everyone thought it was just a joke and it wasn't really good for anything. And then through that presentation that Brendan Ike made, and he said, JavaScript, always bet on JavaScript. And then I noticed that there's some coins that, back in 2017 that were based on JavaScript, because on the theory that people would flock to that because that's the language that people know versus like Solidity and all that stuff. And I was just curious, what your thoughts might be on that.
On coins being utilized in JavaScript, or the virtual machine being able to accept JavaScript?
Right.
I think it's great. JavaScript, Java, really, I think it was, JavaScript. So, I think that's great, man. Using a language that coders already are, familiar with is better than trying to build something and get people to learn. That's that additional hurdle that I think that kind of stops adoption. Because remember, and I've said this before, the adoption comes from really a strong developer community. So if you have great developers, a vast amount of good developers, they're going to build the dApps that people want to use, and then the consumer will come in that way. So, I think that's great. I think that's great. What coins? I can't remember what coins are you referring to back years ago that were.
Well, the two that I know, and I am in one of them, so I don't want to be pumping it.
No, go ahead, tell it. Doesn't matter. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah, whatever. The two ones that I'm thinking of are Lisk and Arc.
Okay, I've heard of Lisk. Yep, I've heard of Lisk.
Arc, they both split off the same code base originally.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty active, and Arc is in there. They've stayed steady, but they don't really seem to be picking up the kind of adoption that I thought they would.
It's hard, man, and that's why you have to look at these projects from a bird's eye perspective, and you have to include the type of capital. You have to include the capital that's behind these companies or these projects. And so that's why I'm like, I love EOS from that perspective. Is it perfect? No. But if you look at War Chest, it has the best. It has the best. It's going to attract developers. You can use. You don't have. You can use Solidity actually if you want to. You can develop with multiple languages. It doesn't have to be just some proprietary language that they created. So you're opening the door for developers to come over to that platform and start building real dApps. And so that's what you gotta follow the money if you really talking about adoption. Yeah,
EOS could probably port in JavaScript if they wanted to.
They can.
Yeah.
Not JavaScript.
What
Java.
Is it, like a 5 billion?
No, I think it's Java that.
5 billion.
Go ahead.
What is it, like a $5 billion war chest?
4. Yeah, 4. I think it's down to 2 or something. So EOS can port in. They have a Java wrapper for EOS. So that's one.
Java's huge, absolutely huge.
Java's even big. Yeah, JavaScript is something totally. People kind of, they think they're related. They're two totally different programming languages, Java and JavaScript.
That's right.
Java is huge, man. Java's used in many of the electronics that people use in their cars and microwaves, and like Java's used a lot.
Yep.
Calculators and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
what
number
happens.
two or three language in the world, Java is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep. Sure is.
Yeah, cool. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and thanks a lot.
Hey, man, you got it, man. Take care. Have a good weekend. All right, we got another
too.
caller here. Caller on the line.
Yeah.
With Crypto Blood.
Yeah.
You got a little excited there, man. I see you hanging up the phone. What's going on, man?
Not like the phone. It just dropped or died. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm kind of in a bad area.
So what were we talking about, though?
I think you were trying to explain like how it was, mostly back. Like Tether was mostly back, whatever.
75%, man. That's impressive to me.
It is. But I kind of, I just don't. I don't trust what's going on, man. It just seems shady. That's all. That's my whole point. Everything seems too like this case comes out and then everything starts pumping and everybody gets hyped like, oh, Bitcoin's back. And it seems like, I don't know, man. If the case goes, because I could be completely wrong. If the case, it settles and there, Tether is fine and the whole situation, then I'll be wrong. Maybe this is more natural, but as right now, I'm skeptical. I just think it's going to keep pumping. Whoever's controlling this price is not going to let this price dump.
Big O, thanks for the super chat there, bro. Really appreciate it, Big O. What's going on with you? He's a big EOS fan as well. Yeah, I hear you, man. We'll see. I personally don't think that Tether is going to crash. I don't think it's going anywhere. They've got a Bitfinex and its company, parent company. I forgot the name of it. They're well funded as well. They've got big backers behind them. It's just not going to happen, man. You got to follow the money. I mean, you can't make money off Tether, but I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to go anywhere really per se. I do want to make a point though. My man Rad Vladdy said, and this came out. I found this out maybe about a week or so ago. I was very shocked to see that EOS has over $1 billion. I think in Bitcoin. They're holding a lot of Bitcoin. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, it's smart right now. If you got, if Bitcoin's pumping, I mean, you kind of be a fool right now to like now hold it for now.
Can you imagine? Let me just say this, man. Can you imagine what type of moves EOS or Block One can make if Bitcoin goes to let's just say Bitcoin goes to 80,000, right? They will be sitting on $10 billion, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy, man. Now we're talking about some real money here. I mean, $1 billion is already, but I'm just saying, like, they're gonna be able to do a lot of stuff, man, and really pull a lot of people over to that platform. So we'll have to see what happens, though.
Yeah, we'll see. I think EOS will be all right. I think they got the technology behind them, so they just gotta get the adoption down. Like, whoever gets the people using their platform is going to take over. I think they're they have a really good shot at doing that. But we'll see though, because it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. I think we're still like, at least a decade away.
This voice situation, and I'm gonna bring that back up. What the first thing I thought of when they made the announcement about voice, and unique account generation, and we know 1-to-1 is no double accounts, no bots or anything. This is going to set up for voting, in my opinion, for real life voting on topics and things, and this could be one of the tools that we use as citizens of this world to really have a transparent campaign, and voting rights. I think this is there was a movie that was it's kind of creepy. This movie came out, I can't remember the name of it, but basically it was like this social media company that this guy started, and people were like so fascinated by it, and they were letting their whole life be recorded through this or whatever, and then they tried to do this whole voting thing and connect with the government, and it got like real crazy. But that's probably the direction we're going with this voice stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, they're doing better than that. They're doing better than that kick, So
yeah, that was your boo.
Man,
you gonna help give to that $5 million crowdfunding they're trying to do?
No.
But it's helping everybody. It's not just gonna help Ken. It's gonna help the whole industry. And if they win, then it's gonna help everybody else, right? Go ahead and give to that.
I want to know what they did with the $100 million, because it's
exactly.
They built an app and stuff like that. I mean, if you can look at that Blocktivity chart again. They were like number 2 for the last week until today, I guess. But I mean, they're not on no major changes. I mean, I've seen scam coins do better, like promotion, and do better, like as far as performance. Like, I don't know. I think they just pocket the money, and now they're just they're playing the whole SEC coming after them, and they're gonna fade out. I think it was more of an exit scam, honestly, because it doesn't make any sense. It wasn't
necessarily a scam, but you got to think they lost probably 90% of whatever holdings if they were primarily in ETH. Right?
That's true.
And
That's true. But you know what? They didn't. They had ETH before the big run up. They had ETH before, like if they were smart, they would have sold at near the top, or when we were coming down a little bit. Like I think they ICO'd in. Yeah, that's hindsight. But they said, I think they had a press release. They said they weren't holding any ETH anymore. Like they sold all their ETH.
Oh, okay. So, at what price?
That's why I don't know. They don't release none of that information. So that's they could have sold it last week, or at the time they made that press release, and I don't know. But it just, I don't know. Their community I had a lot of questions because I was on the Reddit and stuff like that, and I play around with the whole Ken with the new BTC and stuff like that. Like, that's just playing around and stuff like that. But I really was like drilling them, like, what's going on? Like, 'cause they had a roadmap, and then they cut back on the roadmap, and they were like, oh, we don't need that. That's when I started. As soon as they did that stuff, I started scaling back. Like, all right, that ain't right. And they're like, oh, we're gonna come on major changes, at this time. Ain't never happened. It's just $100 million. Like, I guess it's gone, man. Like,
that's what's wrong. Well, that's what was wrong with this whole ICO experiment. It was an experiment. That's what we got to call it, right? This was something, a new way of raising capital, right? And this is what happens when you give people too much money for a project. There's no sense of urgency. There's none.
It takes incentive away.
Absolutely.
It takes incentive away to create anything, because you already gave me the money. So it's like, why should I build anything? I got $100 million. Like,
exactly. And we've seen it. We've seen it with so many projects, and it's not necessary. And this is the thing. I'm not calling these people bad people. It's just human nature. Like, if you give me too much money, okay. Like for me, I do web development, right? If a client gives me, let's say I charge them $2,500 to $3,000 for a new site. If they give me $300K up front and then say, go ahead and do the site, Man, I'm going on vacation. I'm smoking cigar. Man, look, I'm smoking my cigar. You know, I'm buying cars. I'm doing. It's no sense of urgency.
Yeah.
This is what happened, man.
Or at the most, I might pay somebody else to do the site, you know, and then just go on vacation. Like, I did really. I mean, honestly, looking at the pricing and stuff like that, like the other car, I do agree with him. I don't think this is the move. I mean, it's just an opinion because I think we're going to pump to 17K and then probably pull back like drastically. But I don't think this is the move yet. I don't think everybody is expecting like, okay, we're going to 100K and stuff like that. I don't think this is it yet. It just seems too good to be true right now. But I mean, as far as now, I'm gonna profit off of it. I hope we get out at the right time. But I don't know. But that's all I had to say, man.
Yeah, man. Oh no, thanks for calling in. Always good hearing from you, John Hill.
No problem.
You guys ever see him in my comments? He's always saying Bitcoin 199 tomorrow. love him, man. Thanks for calling in, and always a pleasure.
All right, man.
All right. All right, people. You guys gonna call in? The time is now. Give me a call. We can talk about whatever. Fud Killer was asking what the topic was. We were just talking about Kin or Kick, ICOs, and we were talking about stable coins, Tether. He was feeling like Tether was still gonna go down. I was telling him it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. They just raised $1 billion. So they were already 75% funded. $2 to Tether. Now they've got an additional $1 billion. I think they're going to be fine, like it or not. They're definitely going to survive. But you guys can call in. We can talk about whatever you want. I'll give you my 2 satoshis on it. Yeah, that's it, man. The number is 669-900-6833. I saw someone say they were watching from Ireland. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for checking in with this session this evening. I think I'm going to go for another 10 or 15 minutes if I get some callers. So make sure you guys call in 669-900-6833. And the code is 169-861-119. Trinidad in the house. What's going on, man? Appreciate the support. Let me look at we didn't get a chance to kind of go over. So yeah, let me just finish this up. So again, if we get above at this point now it's about 9,000, I would be getting back in. I don't think it's going to get up to 8,900 in the next hour or so. So we're talking probably, if I move out somewhere around 9,000 or above, I'll get back in with the 35% that I sold at 87.50. So I would take a slight loss, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. I think the odds are more in my favor with it going lower than going higher at this point. So we'll just have to see what happens. But this here voice.com. Man, how much did they pay for that domain name, boy? They got the money, though. Social as it should be, it says, we think social networking is due for a major rework, from the bot mobs to the data tracking to the shady algorithms behind our feeds. Social media has not been a good friend to us. So let me tell you guys a story. I knew that Dan Limmer was working on this platform about a year and a half ago. It was rumors back then, actually just shortly after EOS launched, I think on the mainnet. I was talking to some BPs and they told me that Dan was working. So they've been working on this for like a year and some change. Didn't know what the name was going to be. I think it was something like, it was a corny ass name at first. So I'm glad that they didn't go with that. But this is some big news. I think this is definitely some big news. You guys let me know, are you signing up for the beta? It's definitely going to be a game changer because I'm sure people gotta be sick of this Facebook, man. This Facebook is horrible. Let's see, I think we got a call on the line, people. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Call on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood.
What's up, Blood? It's Steve from Buffalo.
Steve, my man. It's been a while, man.
I had to do it.
A lot has changed, hasn't it, since we've been on the phone?
Yeah, quite a bit. The market was just non-existent, so like unless you're hardcore into it, there's really not, for a while there's really nothing to talk about, really.
Yeah.
Like no excitement or nothing.
No, that's probably, I think, and honestly, that's pretty much why I wasn't doing these off the chain live feeds. It just wasn't anything really to talk about. It's still really it.
No, after a while, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, right.
But
so what's your assessment of this EOS thing? Them announcing voice. We got EOS IO 2.0 coming out. What are your thoughts? I don't even know if you're following that project or not. I'm not sure.
No, I do. I am the type of person who thinks very black and white sometimes. So, besides, Bitcoin, EOS is maybe the only one, because most things are just pure speculation, obviously, right? But for someone who thinks black and white, I cannot ignore that war chest, because that war chest allows them to really be a major player just based on that alone, right?
It gives them the opportunity to go up against Facebook on some level.
When you can pay all these developers or
incentivize them to come over
anything.
there. Right. You can incentivize, and they have been. They've been incentivizing a lot of players from Ethereum.
Right. So when I look at math, right, and I think that they're overvalued. I don't know, what their market cap is, us in the billions. And if it wasn't for cryptocurrency and the access that people have, there's no way that anything would be in the billions from the traditional market that hasn't really totally proven itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to, word that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, as someone who's always obviously looking to make money, or it's hard for me to want to put a lot of money down when I think that it's overvalued. But when you talk about their war chest and the ability to basically buy their way right into the top of the game, you also can't overlook that. So
no, you can, and that for me, Steve, that's about I would say 45 to 50% of my rationale behind liking this project is the war chest.
Yes, if they were anyone else and they didn't have that kind of money, there's no way that I would even.
No, because I've seen crypto projects that's been out here for a few years that are definitely is more superior than Bitcoin, than Ethereum. But if you don't have the war chest and the means and the capital behind your project to bring that brand awareness, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right. So in my mind, the only thing that's is not pure speculation is Bitcoin, because it functions, and even though it's not fast enough or this and that. We all know, the history of protocols is a lot different than, that of a company.
Yes.
Being a first mover. Way different.
Yes.
Absolutely. Email is shit, right? They could totally make an email that, is far superior, but yet we still run email, it's a basic operating system, which sucks. They can your text messages, you can know when someone reads it, you can know if it's spam, and I'm just saying it could be upgraded very easily. But it's already in the system. It's already there. It's it's just running, and it ain't gonna change. Right. No one cares if it's faster, better, superior. It just doesn't matter.
Right.
So, for me, I just keep buying like Bitcoin because obviously like the institutions right now. I mean, like that's where they're heading. Like that is the safest play for a high risk, asset in their eyes. To me, it's not like high risk because they ain't gonna stop. But from their point of view, like as money people, and then I think Grayscale put that thing out. But basically, like 99% of the money coming in was for Bitcoin from them. I think it was like 1.9 billion, like out of the 2 billion, I think. But so every time like I want to buy something else, I just can't bring myself to switch off Bitcoin. Obviously, once Bitcoin gets switched to a certain price, it's like, well, okay, I'm not going to. I mean, even like I think $100 right now is like 0.01 of a Bitcoin. Like when you're getting like 0.0001 or even 3 decimals, it's like, yeah, no thanks. You know what I mean? So the market right now, though, is like getting exciting, obviously, because Bitcoin has been the highest gaining asset in the last decade, and
last decade, I don't know,
for Morgan
maybe more than that, man. I mean, I know it's only been around for 10 years or so, but man, this thing is, this is still the best asset class, man. In a long time that we've seen.
Oh, right. Like and like nothing's like from the outside of crypto space is going to beat it. Like on like the gains that you can make in cryptocurrency is far different than like the 10% like that you can make in the stock market over 5-7 years or like whatever their standard is. It's just it's watching the whole world change in slow motion because it feels like it's taken forever, but in reality it's not.
So do you plan on buying any EOS, or you're just kind of a maximalist right now?
I'm not a maximalist, because like that term, like to me, it means like ignorance almost. Like, you know what I mean?
No, it definitely is. Yeah, because it absolutely. When I hear Bitcoin maximalist, it's total ignorance, because there are other use cases for blockchain. I mean, it's not just about money. Bitcoin is a medium of exchange type of protocol, right? You're able to store and hold wealth in that protocol. It's the first one, so most well-known brand in blockchain. But there are other use cases for Bitcoin, for blockchain, and there's so many good projects out here.
Yeah, no, like I've had some EOS, I've had some Ethereum, I've had a bunch of other ones, but
you're mostly consolidated into Bitcoin at this point.
Well, like that's the only one I can say for sure. Right now, like that's the one that its market cap, or the smart money, I should say, is coming for first. But there's no, in my mind, like there's no doubt about that, right? So like then, once we get past that, like how it's all going to play out with, like Web 3.0, very fascinating. And obviously, like I can't ignore, EOS's war chest, but like that's I feel like it's a longer play. Like it's not like, like immediate almost.
So let's talk about. You bring up a good point, because that's exactly what I was going to talk about. So if when it comes to, if you're talking about buying EOS and you think you're going to you're going to see the type of phenomenal growth that you saw Bitcoin have at the maybe 2013 or before, no, that's not going to necessarily happen with EOS. I'm just excited about EOS and what they're doing from a DApp and protocol perspective. They're really doing some great things there. Because if you look at let's take a look at their market cap. So EOS market cap is around $7 billion right now.
Wow.
And right, so it's at $7.67 at the moment. So the growth, I mean, it's of course, if the entire market cap goes up to $1 trillion, then I can say, yeah, maybe we can see a $200 EOS token or $300 EOS token.
Right.
But we would have to see the market and as a whole kind of grow a little bit more to see those types of numbers. But
well, absolutely, like especially like the DApps and all that. Like, this is not like an instant story. Like, this is going to take a while to play out.
Yeah.
So while I'm fascinated by it, like when I think, pure money and where I'm putting my money, it's hard for me to just spend thousands, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's just, I'm not in a rush. Like, if I'll
give you a marker in my opinion where people should be thinking about buying EOS. When the beta comes out, and then for voice, and then as kind of that phase is when I would be looking to buy, because shortly after that, maybe 6 months or a year, I would assume that they will roll out full. Maybe it may take a little bit longer than that, but that's when you want to start accumulating. When beta goes live with voice, you probably want to start looking at accumulating some of those voice tokens as well. I don't think you can outright buy them.
I think, like, I don't know how many people out there like have a full Bitcoin, probably not many. But for those people who want one, your chance to get one, it seems, is not going to be here long, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely, in my opinion, like definitely in 2 years, you need some serious cash, like, to probably buy one.
Yeah, you want to have Bitcoin, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, right. And while like I'm already positioned like pretty well, something that is like $7 or whatever, and I can dollar cost average, I'm not overly concerned. So that's my point of view. Like, it's just, it's how you want to spend your money, how much money you're trying to spend. Risk versus reward profile, like, to me, is very important. Because I have to separate my fascination with technology with what I do with my money. So that's, some people don't care, some people are reckless, some people love gambling, and it's just how you want to approach it. Like, I'm very fascinated with, with the possibilities, but like when I start thinking where to put my money, it always comes back to the same place. Always does for me. So,
one thing Rad Vladdy said is that just because a coin is best positioned for smart contract apps and services doesn't mean it will accrue in value. Somewhat true, but in the case with EOS, the more a dApp on the EOS infrastructure is utilized and needed, the more RAM that company has to store for that dApp to continue to run. So there is I would almost say a direct correlation to the success of the platform and the demand for the token, because they have to have it for RAM and CPU resources. That token represents basically, the EOS token basically kind of represents you renting RAM and CPU power from the many block producers out there. That's how you can kind of think of that, to run your decentralized app. So it's like rent,
If, as people like to word it, if the next hot, a hot app or hot dApp is, on EOS, I mean, that's going to be, that's going to make it a monster financially and in all types of ways.
Yeah, so, no doubt. I'm just curious to know.
The best technology, as we talked about before, does not always win. But that's why, I keep focusing on that war chest, because money does always win. You know what I mean?
True.
At the end of the day.
True.
if they can draw people to come over.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll see what happens, man. But thanks for the call, Steve. Thanks for the call. Always a pleasure. You got it.
All right.
All right, people. If you guys aren't calling in, I'm going to put that number up there one more time. 669-900-6833. And the code is 169-861-119. We don't have to talk about EOS. We can talk about whatever you want. AI. We could talk about cliff high picks, whatever you want to talk about. Give me a call. We'll chat it up for a second. I'm gonna leave the lines open for another 5 minutes or so. Let me see if I can get back to this article here. But what I was saying was that the price move up at current global market cap levels. The price move up for EOS. We're not talking about a 10x here in the next month or so. Like that, no, that's not what's going to happen. But I believe it's going to be a strong coin that over time will continue to rise as more and more companies turn to and utilize EOS IO, the operating system. So you'll need those tokens to utilize that. So that's where the value is created. It gives you a stake in that economy. So just think of it that way. I don't think it's going to go to the moon tomorrow or in a month or two or nothing like that. But, by the end of this year, I definitely think it's going to be higher than where it is now. I personally think it should be double where it is now at minimum. But, 10x and all that, not yet. The overall market cap would have to go up significantly for that to happen. But eventually, you heard this here first. Eventually, I do think that you will see EOS surely eclipse Ethereum in market cap. The flippening will be soon. I'll tell you that much. I say in the next year and a half or so. But let me go back to this site. I didn't get a chance to really take a look at it. This Voice. It's a good domain name, I guess. What do you guys think about that name, Voice? So it says here, are you a human? If so, you're ready to make a profile. We use a special authentication system to make sure every user on Voice is an actual person. No robot, mobs, no catfish, no burner accounts. And it goes on to get posting. Now go forth and make some content. Think up a think piece. Give a hot take on a topic. Tell the world something interesting. So there. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is pretty much going to be Steam on steroids. Steam probably is not going to grow much more from here. You'll have the individuals that still use it for sure. But this is going to take over. I'm just letting you know. So definitely want to start stacking those Voice tokens when you can. I'm going to reach out to a few contacts and see if I can get into that beta for sure. So I can start playing with it and let you guys know how it's working and maybe do some videos on it or whatnot. But let's see here. See what the chat room is talking about. So again, guys, give me a call, 669-900-6833. Again, that's 669-900-6833. And the code is 169-861-119. Let me put that back on the screen for you. I'll take another caller or two if anyone wants to call in and wrap this show up. So Michael York says EOS will suffer the same fate as BitShares and Steemit. Not at all, bro. It's too much big money behind this, man. It's a different beast. And BitShares is actually still pretty active. Steemit is, people have their opinions about Steemit. There are some issues with it. But for you to say EOS will suffer the same, you're thinking of it wrong. It's not a platform. EOS is an operating system. So you're thinking of it totally wrong. So let's see what we got here. Call on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in?
Yo, it's your boy.
Who's my boy?
It's your favorite boy from the West Coast, man.
Who's calling in, man? What's good?
It's Gaston, man.
Hey, I don't have my let me see if I can get my my audience soundboard up. I got to give you a round of applause on this one, man. Let me get you a round of applause. All right. What's going on, man? I got to get you. I'm going to get Gaston on my show, a Kicking It session here soon. I'll link up with you after the stream, man. But what's good, man? Tell me something good.
All right, so I missed everything, so I just got back home and I'm catching up on everything. I saw you went live like right away, and I didn't want to go through social media and have the big news burned. So I went directly to the Block One YouTube channel, looked up what was going on, and it was funny because I was at a Blockchain Beach event last week,
okay,
and I ran into Crystal Rose, and I told Crystal, like, hey Crystal, what do you know about June 1st? And she just put on a big old smile, and she was like, I don't know anything. And I was like, man, you lying.
Yeah.
She just put on a big smile. She was like, okay, it has something to do with like identity and some other stuff. I forgot what she said, but she was super tiptoeing around it. And I was like, okay, no problem. I know you're not going to tell me. So I know she's running the, the Sense private chat.
Whatever. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to go talk to her head marketing guy, and the head marketing guy, he told me that he didn't know anything. He's like, I don't know anything about what's going on June 1st, but Crystal knows everything, and she will be in DC. I was like, oh, that's nice. And then he started telling me, he's like, I don't think it's going to be that big, man. I think it's going to be one of those like announcements thing. And I was like, man, I don't know, man. Dan Lammer's not going to like put on a big show for nothing, or an announcement of an announcement. Like, something's really going on.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, some people were kind of disappointed because it was just a social media, like it was kind of telegraphed. A lot of people, I did a poll.
Yeah.
I think you saw my poll, and the majority of people
I did.
said,
I voted for social network.
Yeah. So social network, that was the number one thing, which is honestly, man, I was talking to Kevin Rose, which is no relation to Crystal Rose.
My bad.
That was a good question because I didn't know. Gaming and social networks are the two things I think will be the gateway for the everyday person to experience and understand and see the benefits of blockchain. So, I mean, that's probably expected to see it was a social network. But the key thing to this, though, man, this is what I think people are skipping or missing. It's about the identity part of it. That's the key. That's the part. I haven't gone into the details of it, but I'm assuming they're, and someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat rooms, but I'm assuming they're using some type of biometric type of tech to integrate that, because I know that is available within the protocol, the EOS IO protocol.
You can use it.
So, yeah, man, that's the big part, because again, that opens up a whole bunch of other stuff like voting. We can have fair and equitable voting now. Could you imagine that?
Right. Well, Dan does have that patent for the, what was it, like a blockchain voting system.
Yeah.
So it's definitely that. Man, I lost my train of thought about what I was going to tell you right now. But anyways, yeah, the video games and the social media is definitely how you're going to get like an average Joe to kind of give it a look. Because when you're pitching people Bitcoin, you're just pretty much pitching them magic internet money, and they don't fully understand it because their dollar is very useful.
Very good point.
They don't.
Very good point.
They still don't understand that they're just getting robbed every time that the Federal Reserve prints money and they give it to the bank and the bank loans it out to them. They just still can't grasp that for some reason.
Exactly.
I'm just like,
well, it's a good reason. It's because we're not, we forget that a lot of us have been from an economic, monetary perspective. We've gotten our third eyes open, right? We kind of understand. We've read the Jekyll from Creature Island or whatever. We've read these types of books. The Creature from Jekyll Island. We've read these books. We know this stuff. We're awake. But most people aren't. That's why they're not in the streets right now running around, rioting. Because they don't understand that every day their wealth is being transferred away from them through inflation. So we can't approach them with that. It has to be a different way. It has to be a dumbed down way to get them to, experience blockchain technology and stuff. So that's a good point.
Well, one thing I was listening to somebody earlier this morning. I forgot who it was, but he was saying like he coaches people on their finances, and he tells them one of the first things he tells them is like, "What is your biggest expense?" Some people say rent. Some people say car payment. Some people say hospital bills. And he's like, wrong. Your biggest expense is taxes.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, California? Yeah. I got taxed up the butt because I made more than 10 grand than I did the previous year. I was like, how are you penalizing me because I made more money? Because when I made that more money, I paid tax on that more money. Now you're taxing me even more because I got a raise. And I was like,
yeah. And the thing is, man, people forget you don't just get taxed on your income. You really get taxed like 9 different ways. Think about it. You're getting taxed at the gas station. You're getting taxed at the grocery store. You're getting taxed for everything. It's like tax on tax on tax. Not racks on racks on racks. It's tax on tax on tax. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and it's just like, to me, I just see it like it's new age slavery of the modern world. But this time we're whipping ourselves. The tax is just the whip that we hold ourselves and whip ourselves. And I'm just like, dude, this is ridiculous. Especially here in California. I mean, if you're adding in like income tax, Social Security, Medicare, property tax, gas tax, all that tax, like for sure it's like 50% overall, like all that just being swiped out ASAP. And it's like, dude, like when do you stop? And I just remember, I believe when the Europeans started coming to America and settling here, I think they were leaving because they were getting taxed like 3%.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's 50%. We still chilling. I'm like, dude, you guys are smoking crack.
Yep. It's crazy, man. And then meanwhile, you have people like it's just not. And the thing with Donald Trump, people are mad at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just playing the game that was given to him. He's paying 0 to no taxes because it's legally he's legally able to through loopholes and stuff. So you got the wealthy are just taking advantage of the system. But at the same time, I personally don't think that taxing them more is going to fix anything. It's not. It's just got to be a whole transformation. And really, the government has to stop mismanaging funds. That's the key part of it. They mismanage so much of our tax dollars that, you know what I'm saying? If they managed it correctly, then they could tax us less. But there's so much inefficiency going on the local, municipal level, and all the way up to federal that they just want to keep sucking and draining our pockets, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. My buddy works for the government. He's like a mailman for the sheriff or something like that. And he got hired, and he started showing me like his first week. He was like, dude, I went on a hike. I was like, you went on a hike? when? He's like, oh, like on Monday, like on my lunch break, like after I had lunch, I went for an hour hike. And I was like, aren't you supposed to be at work after your lunch break?
Wow.
He's like, yeah, but they're not even checking me, bro. I was like, what? And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And then he told me, he was like, there's 3 mailmen in the sheriff's department. I was like, uh-huh. He's like, we only really need 1.
Yep.
And I was like,
so much inefficiency. Mm-hmm.
He was like, dude, there's like so much shit that they don't need to do and they get away with. And I was like, damn, dude. And I'm not hating on my boy.
No. And then think about the pensions and all the the liability after the fact. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's insane. But that's a whole nother topic, man. I just I don't know, man. I don't know how blockchain will change that. I'm not too sure. Maybe being able to have a correct vote.
If you work for the government, if you work for the government, your salary should be on a blockchain for the public to see. I think that would be nice.
Absolutely. And the politicians and all that. Yeah, absolutely. All that stuff.
Have you looked into Celsius?
No. What's that?
Oh, dude. Okay, so the guy who shares the patent for voice over IP started Celsius. I might mess this up, but I'm gonna try and explain it as best as I can. So what Celsius does is kind of like a Coinbase, but you don't buy crypto from there. You leave your crypto on there. You still have control of your private key, so you can take it off whenever you want. And it'll pay you an interest rate on a yearly basis. So it'll pay you, I think for Bitcoin, let's just give it a even 5%. So it'll pay you throughout the whole year a total of 5% of the Bitcoin that you have on there. And that 5% is chopped up in bits, and it actually pays you out every week on Monday. And the way they make money to be able to pay you is that they use that as collateral to give loans out to other exchanges. And if you have crypto on there, let's say I have 1 whole Bitcoin, and 1 whole Bitcoin for easy math is 10 grand. I can put up 1 Bitcoin as collateral for a $5,000 loan cash, no credit check required, and then the rate of the payback is like somewhere like reasonable between like 5 to 7.5%, somewhere around there.
And then that way you're not taxed as a capital, as you're not taxed as you normally would be selling crypto. You're not taxed at all.
And even and he was even talking about if you put your Ethereum on there and then ask for a loan, and then use that loan to buy Ethereum, and then with that Ethereum you buy, the hot ICO, the tax rules are totally different than you would if you just got your Ethereum and bought that ICO.
That's very true. That's very true. This
is getting really, really interesting, and I want to know more. I was trying to see if I could work for them or something. I thought it was a really interesting concept.
That is interesting. I'll have to take a look at that, man. Definitely. Well, man, thanks for the call. Yeah. I've got another one on the line. Definitely call in again, Gaston. And I'm going to hit you up via Twitter in a second. We're going to get a date set up for kicking a session.
All right, man. Thanks, I'm going to keep my watch out as you go, man. Take care.
Sir. All right. Call on the line. It's your boy, Crypto Blood.
What's up, Blood? This is Jeff from New York.
Jeff, hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for calling in.
Good, man. I got a question for you, kind of off base a little bit. Just I'm wondering if you could answer it for me. I've been trying to figure out the answer to this for a while. It has to do with hardware wallets.
Okay.
So I know, one of the better ways, I'm not saying the best, but one of the better ways to store your coins is, in a ledger or Trezor, some sort of hardware wallet. But in my mind, aren't we entrusting some sort of third-party company, not particularly holding our coins, but we're trusting them in general with our, access to our private keys or some sort of knowledge of our private keys?
No, it's encrypted in a way where that's not the case. What you are entrusting them with is that their software, or not software, their hardware is locked down securely. There was an issue with, I think, Trezor, their first hardware wallet. There was a hardware hack, or some way that a person, if they had the knowledge, if they got their hands on your hardware wallet, would be able to gain access and find out your secret key or whatever. But for the most part, no, you're pretty good. The other issue you may run into, and where there's never anything that's 100% proof, right, as far as security. So that even goes
but
with
they have to have don't they have to have here's the part that I'm not getting. So I understand the private keys are locked into the Trezor, the whole thing. But okay, so I have my Trezor, I have my coins on there. I lose my Trezor. Okay, no problem. I buy another one. I do the restore. I have my seed phrase.
Yes.
But how is it restoring all of my private keys? Where are they being stored? Someone has to be storing those private keys for me to restore it. No,
it's done.
That's what I'm not understanding.
Okay, yeah, no, it's done through mathematics. So it's done through encryption, through cryptography, right? So you've got I forgot what version of the cryptography, as far as using your seed phrase and your public key. There's a algorithm that encrypts it and decrypts it for you. So as long as you have that seed phrase and it matches your public key, you'll be able to retrieve your private key through that. And it's mathematically, through cryptography, through technology of cryptography, you're able to do that.
Okay,
so it's all math.
Thinking, they were storing it somewhere, and if you restore it, then they're sending it back to the the wallet or whatever.
It's all stored or it's all done locally. So I could, back in the day, I would create Bitcoin wallets offline. I wouldn't even be online. And you can create Bitcoin wallets. You can create any wallet, really, new wallet offline. You don't have to have any access to internet or anything. It's all through mathematics and cryptography. Yep.
Gotcha. And so through the algorithm, it will recreate my original private key that will now pull up. Wow. Okay.
Yes, but you got to.
Yeah, I didn't know. I've been thinking about this forever, and nobody can answer it.
Yeah. So you got to think of it like when you set up a wallet, it asks you for a phrase and a password and all that. It takes all of that and matches it with a public key that then derives your private key. So you can do the reverse and gain access to your private key again. Yep. All offline. They don't have any of that information stored anywhere.
Okay, cool, man. I appreciate the info then.
Okay, no problem. Have a good one out there.
That was it, man.
Take care.
Appreciate the time.
Absolutely. I think that's it, people. I'm done. 2 hours in. I think that's a good amount of time. Hope you guys had a good time kicking it with me this evening. Off the chain. I think this is episode number 12. That's pretty much it, people. I'm out of here. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to keep supporting this channel. Peace.